uh, so she just kept like saying like I'm free after I'm not doing anything after the shift, I get off my shift soon, uh like doing that thing like twirling your hair,
Oh my
very
god.
coyly, and I didn't fucking pick up on it, and you know what I say to her?
What?
You know what I say to her, Jace?
What?
That's cool. I should let you finish your shift so you can get off work. And then I just go back to writing.
Oh no! Oh no!
And then she walks away, and I look at my PC for a moment, and then I think about it, like the gears turn in my head, and I'm like, God fucking damn it!
Oh my god, that's funny.
I think part of it too is I just don't ever assume people are interested in me.
That's fair. I get that.
And she like, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
She gave off like straight vibes.
Mm.
But the thing with straight vibes with
Mm-hmm.
white girls is that it can often also be that they aren't giving off straight vibes, but are giving off very heavily bisexual vibes.
Ah, I see.
Because those two vibes can be very similar sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I am put into the equation, a trans femme of whom people's perception of me often fluctuates wildly.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened before. It happened Halloween last year. Last year on Halloween, I go to the coffee shop and I'm talking with somebody who's working the counter,
Mm-hmm.
and we're chatting it up and having a great time. And uh, she says to me, me and my friends, we're gonna go and we're gonna hang out for Halloween and have a good time. Do you want to come with me? While
Mm-hmm.
smiling at me. And you want to know what my dumbass said to this barista?
What?
To this very attractive, very nice barista?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I might be busy later, so I don't know if I could do that. Because it was my dad's birthday, and he was like vaguely in the area of my city, so I just didn't know if he was going to like suddenly pop into my life for one day, be like, you
Yeah.
want to hang out, child?
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, I suck at being like, I feel so bad for people who flirt with me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm never gonna get a hint. I'm never gonna fucking understand what you're saying to me. But yeah, no. Welcome to the sad life of IVGM. Girl,
The
girl who don't know shit nor fuck.
literally, what was it? I do you you want to know how Billy asked me?
Lol.
Billy basically asked me. This was a few months. I think this was like a month after maybe they became a mod and I was like streaming and stuff. Um, and I remember because a lot of times we would, I mean, and we still do like hang out in my Discord a bit or like, um, and I think Billy had asked me like, oh, do you want to watch a movie? Um, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, like, do you want to do that in here? Like, when do you want to do that? And they were like, no, I just want us to watch it. I'm like, oh, okay. And so I think we played a time or something. 3 hours later, I was like, wait a minute. And we were all in call, like, a bunch of us were in call together, and I just, like, sent them a message. But I was like, wait a minute. Are you asking me out? It took me 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to process that.
Lol. Lamau.
Listen,
Jace silly moments.
I mean, look, same thing. I genuinely, like, did not know if people liked me or anything. Was it apparently, like, one of my old friends, from college had, like, a huge crush on me. Oh, like, a bit ago when we were in college together, and they had it for 3 years and never told me.
Lol.
And I felt bad, and I was like, upset. Like, I genuinely had no idea. But also,
I'm fucking shaking your hand. People who are terrible to people who are terrible to crush on.
Um,
You and me shaking hands.
Listen. I mean, hey, you're a pretty cool gal. Anyone would be lucky to have you.
No, I mean terrible to crush on in the sense that I will literally not get the hint. You will basically it's like flirting with a brick. I'm not gonna understand.
Well, I'm giving you a compliment.
Smiles.
Um,
Smiles so widely. Smiles so widely and cutely like a little cartoon character.
well, I mean, it's almost like you are like a little cartoon character.
That's true.
Um, let's see. Oh, I know you had mentioned it, but what is like your? I mean, is Rogue your favorite class?
Uh so this that is a very very hard question for me.
Mhm.
Uh that is a very very hard question for me because uh I like all of the classes because I've DM'd for basically all of them.
Ooh.
Uh I'm trying to think if there's any class I haven't DM'd for. I don't think I've DM'd for a cleric, perhaps. No, I've DM'd for a cleric. Uh, I've been DMing for 10 years. I've probably DM'd for a cleric. Uh, so I like all of them. My
Mhm.
personal two favorites to play are either warlock or rogue, just
Mhm.
because I personally like them. Um, but for flavoring, for like what you can do with the character, what kind of concepts you can come up with it, I
Mhm.
personally really really like cleric, fighter, and warlock.
Mhm.
Because cleric, fighter, and warlock are three of the most customizable classes in the game, and they're also one of the broadest concepts in the game.
That's
Like
true.
they're broadest classes conceptually, so you could
Mhm.
do a lot with them. Uh, like a lot of people, you know, when they think fighter, they think of like a knight with a sword and a shield, but
Mhm.
there is a lot you could do with a fighter.
Oh yeah.
Um, I plan on I plan on fucking around and finding out and maybe playing a D&D game at some point as a fighter.
Ooh, nice.
Uh, but yeah, those are my three classes for narrative stuff, and my two favorite classes to play are rogue and warlock.
Mhm.
Smiles. How about you?
Um. Hi, Slip. I just saw. You saw Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots is so good. Oh my god, I
You
love
saw
that movie.
Pussy? What?
Puss in Boots, the
Huh?
movie, the new one. Puss in Boots.
They showed
Uh,
that in a movie?
yeah.
Insane.
Um. Now you're eating a veggie burger. God, yeah, no, God, Puss in Boots are so good. Um. But yeah. Oh my god, no, that I don't like how that looks. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Um. My so I didn't think cleric was one of my favorite classes until I realized I play it a lot. But it's also because I just end up Puss in Boots is my dad. I'm so happy for
What?
you. Um what was it? I've played a lot of clerics and paladins, but also I'd say monks. Probably it would probably go like hmm, hmm. It would probably go cleric, paladin, then monk. I think for like what I've played.
Awesome.
I tend to play like a good amount of like spellcast. I like to eat the character I have in some sense needs to have at least a little bit of magic. I don't like having no magic at all. Um,
Lucky for you, every single class has a magic subclass.
yeah. So yeah, basically like oh shit. Uh, what was it? Because like yeah, like I showed you the warlock one was like the only that was a character because I had originally played them a while ago. It was me forcing myself to use a class I really hadn't used. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't even go into detail about the class stuff for my character Akira. So basically the subclass I'm using is from my DM's home both of the subclasses for the paladin and for the warlock are both homebrew. Um,
Awesome.
for the paladin, it is Oath of Time, and it essentially is because my character, you know, originally was a paladin with the Church of Time. That was their thing. But then with the warlock, I have something called Pact of the Lesser, where it's
Awesome.
basically you make a pact with a lesser being that is just like not as big and powerful as some other gods, and you can summon them once you get to a certain level. You summon them onto the plane you're on. Uh, and it's really fun, and you get a lot. Honestly, it is nice because you get it because your patron can also cast spells through you.
Dude, let's go.
So yeah, it's basically like you get some extra stuff. Um, what was it? I actually hang on. I have to pull up the character sheet. Um, hang on. I have to pull up this character sheet now because I wanna talk about everything that's on it. Let's see. Roll. Um, because yeah, I would say this specific breed of warlock is probably my favorite, but oh wait, it's not this one. But yeah, I like yeah, because I like clerics because of all the different domains you can do so much. I like paladins because they're like a
Yes.
little bit more tanky, like a little bit more tanky, a little bit more melee-y. I've also played bards as well. I'm trying to think. Uh, Pet the Catboy. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Oh, here we go. The campaign my friend does. It's called Tales from the Vault. It's oh my god, my friend genuinely like he is so fucking like he's really smart and he's also like a very good writer. Like honestly, I feel like you two would get along very well because you both are like very talented writers. Ow.
Smiling. Smiling.
Um, let's see. All right, here we go. I am pulling up his character sheet.
I'm a super I'm a super big fan of I'm a super big fan of warlocks and clerics specifically because they allow. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna follow it. I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna preface it by
Mm.
saying that I don't usually see players do this, which sucks because
Mm-hmm.
this is a really good way of getting in good RP. It's a very good way of fleshing out their character, but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason a lot of people don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I love clerics and warlocks because not only do you get to flesh out their deity or patron,
Mm-hmm.
like what exactly they have given their life to, basically, but
Mm-hmm.
you get to flesh out your character's relationship with their god and or patron.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of great ways that you can flesh out the relationship between between like a cleric and their god or a warlock and their patron. Like
Yeah.
I have an older character who I never got to play, but I want to play at some point, who
Mm-hmm.
is a warlock of the Archfey,
Ooh.
uh, warlock of somebody of the Autumn Court, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and her patron, who manifests as her familiar. Like
Ooh.
she takes the form of her familiar on the mortal plane. Is an Archfey whose just entire goal is to experience what the mortal realm has to offer.
That's
Uh,
fun.
and it's initially like a very sort of the idea behind the character was that it's initially a very sort of like I am a warlock who wants to cast spells and learn secrets of the universe, and I have this fucking thing following me around, and it keeps getting into trouble and it's stirring shit wherever I go. And it's basically made it impossible to live a normal life. But for some reason, I appreciate its company, and then it slowly blossoms into a romantic relationship between the warlock and this unknowable fucking archfey of the autumn courts.
Ooh.
Uh, that's the idea
Mm-hmm.
behind the character. My warlock who is my warlock who is devoted to the field god, the one who's like pulls like a scythe out of her chest and it's like straw and stuff. Uh, her whole bit with her patron is that her patron communicates with her when she's meditating or sleeping, and gives her names and routes through places. Like basically gives sort of like ideas on how to kill people. Um, and the whole bit with her character is that she is slowly starting to realize that she doesn't like having a thing in her head that tells her the best way to kill things.
Interesting.
Uh, yeah. I have some cleric characters here. One is a tiefling cleric who worships the god of the forge.
Mm-hmm.
And the god of the forge isn't necessarily anti-tiefling,
Mm-hmm.
but she's consistently pulled between her devotion to her god and her heritage as a tiefling, which seems
Mm.
to always either come back up or require some kind of like uh she's the daughter of a devout worshiper of an archdevil and an
Mm-hmm.
archdevil. So it's sort of like a Raven Teen Titans situation,
Ah, I see.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
where her dad's always kind of tugging at the back of her head, and she's basically tried to beat this back with the power of Christ.
God,
uh,
what was it? I wanted to here, let me find
if you
the
ever play a warlock or a cleric or a
oh,
paladin in a campaign I run,
yeah.
and you like actually flesh out your character's relationship with their god and or patron,
Mm-hmm.
I will Bugs Bunny kiss you on the mouth.
I
Like my favorite thing of the ever.
mhm. The what was it? The one of the nice things is so like at level 3 for this Pact of the Lesser, you and your patron can speak telepathically. So basically,
Awesome.
yeah, so basically I just, I got a one-way phone all the time. But it is basically, and as it gets a little bit level higher, they basically get to